Hello everyone, just on the last set of questions here. So what are draw calls and batching? Draw calls um, is just the method by which Unity renders the sprites and textures on the screen. Um, Imagine this to be a picture that requires to be drawn, and every time you need to use your pencil or paintbrush to draw something. So Unity, in Unity's terms, draw call is something similar to that, where Unity just tries to draw a texture on the screen. There's two methods that Unity follows for this process. One is static batching and dynamic batching. Um, if you go to Unity edit settings player, and here you will see that the static and dynamic batching is by default they are enabled. So what this does is static batching is just a way of batching the static objects together so that one draw call is used for all the static objects, and dynamic batching similarly for moving objects. Unity uses this process where the vertices uh, vertices of the moving objects that are similar, they are grouped together. So that is dynamic batching, and Unity uses both these methods to reduce the draw calls and provide a boost to your performance as well. What are sprite atlas? So another way to reduce or to increase performance and reduce the costly usage is by consolidating similar kind of textures into one sprite atlas, so that Unity again uses one draw call for this sprite atlas. So sprite atlas is just an asset that consolidates a number of textures into one, so that Unity calls them using one draw call. So yeah, um, how to reduce build size? Um, so there are quite a few ways by which you can reduce the build size. Of course, compressing your textures and images to the level of detail that's required in your game and not using excessive. That will of course reduce the build size. You can use the architecture ARM-v7, which also reduces the build size by quite a lot, but then um, your game will only be supported on devices with an ARM-v7 architecture. But of course, you can also create two separate builds, the ARM-v7 and ARM64. So two separate builds for two different with two different architecture. And I think in the Play Store as well, you can upload separate builds, and then when your game is downloaded, automatically it detects the architecture and then it installs the correct architecture. Um, so that's one way. Another way would be to instantiate, like not use instantiate as much. Um, I mean, not have the objects in the scene before the scene starts. Okay. Instead, you can just instantiate them when the game starts running. Because, for example, inside your scene, if you have like 10 objects of the similar type, of 10 KB each, then that's 100 KB. That's already your build size, right? But then if you use instantiate, so uh, maybe if you just instantiate all the 10 objects when the game scene runs, so your build size would actually be reduced by 100 KB here itself. If you are not if you're not just putting those assets in the scene hierarchy where it's not required. That's another way. Um, yeah, that's pretty much some of the ways by which you can reduce the build size. Thank you for watching this video.